line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Crank it.
Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back here to PTM Racing TV. We're live here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway down here in Concord, North Carolina. And tonight, we will see the drivers of the Spartan Logistic Management LLC iRacing IROC series come back to the track and back to the show for a little more hard racing as their season fastly approaches the very end of it all. Hi again, everyone. I am Christian, the Crusaders driver. Welcome back to the show. And welcome back to our action here in our live coverage presented in part by our good friends over at Spartan Logistics Management LLC by R&R Racewear, by Loud Pedal TV, smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment, by iRacers Lounge Podcast, we talk all things iRacing in a casual setting, and by Evidence-Based Mommy, combining science and wellness for thriving families. It's where Samantha Radford combines science and wellness to help kids and their moms thrive. And now here tonight, these drivers are going to be thriving with the best and the brightest out on the track. But there's a little bit of a catch here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to finish up our qualifying times right now. You're going to see our top drivers on the board here trying to fight it out at the moment. There's a little bit of a storyline going into here. We will see as we progress through this event, through the rest of the show. You'll see it here as well in just a sec with our points list. But right now, currently, Kevin McCann, he's trying to catch Aaron Smith for that championship. But because of the little winner's penalty they're going to have here tonight, they'll have to start in the rear of the field and through all 3 stages. It has to, and he has now won 3 races, so it will be tough for him to make those bonus points up. What that means is because you won set amount of races, doesn't matter where you're at or where you're located in the field to start, you have to go to the back. It makes for a much more gritty challenge, a lot more heartbreaking fight, and a lot more, shall we say, interesting concept here, I would say. As our time winds down, we'll show the timer now up on your screen. Final 50 seconds left on the clock of qualifying. Drivers getting the last minute laps in here. You see the 46 Chris Medford there for a minute. That was Kyle Pengraff in that 14 as well. You saw it just a sec. Matt Kopp right now, currently on the onboard cam here as we dash away here onto the front straightaway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Like I said, a lap time in right now, currently in the 12th spot. Now moving down to the 13th, that's Cody Harger. Will take over that position. And again, they are on different ends, different playing fields, so they are not qualifying at the same exact time. Let me rephrase it. They're qualifying at the same exact time, but they're not qualifying each other one at a time, like one go out and one go the other way. No, that would take way too long. They are going to do them individually and just get their drivers settled up. Final lap's falling off. Chris Wally finishes out his qualifying run. He'll manage to sneak away with 7th. So that now leads into the field. Here we go, race fans. Here it is. Let's starting lineup of the Spartan Logistic Management LLC iRacing IROC Series, presented by Spartan Logistic Management LLC. Here on the field, here is your qualifying order in this order. Some will have to go to the back, some will go to the front, as I mentioned with Kevin McCann. He'll start second, but he'll have to go to the end of the field. Brian McCann will be the number 3. He'll be on your front starter here tonight. It is outside. That will be Kevin McCann for now. Row number 2, it's going to be Neil Quick in the number 2. It is outside. Jesse King, the 93. Row 3, it's going to be Brandon Medford, the 83. It is outside. It's Vincent Short, the number 15. Row number 4, Chris Wally in the 5. It is outside. That'll be the 12, Tim Schofield. Row number 5 is going to be Kyle Pengraff in that 14. It is outside. Doug Wysocki in the 34. Row 6 sees Matt Kopp in the 22. It is outside. That'll be Cook Quick in the number 54. Row number 7 is going to be Cody Harger in the 66 outside. That'll be Eric Dotson in the 87. Row number 8, David Tremblay in the 96 is outside. It's the 46, Chris Medford. Row 9, Aaron Smith, double trouble himself in the 70 is outside. That's the number 4, Mike Harper. And final starter, Dakota Clark, the 38, will field into position your final starter here tonight. So again, the big storyline plotting up right now, that number 33 will have to go to the end of the field, and I gotta believe he's not too thrilled about hearing that news, but that is the challenge that you run here in the iRock Challenge Series. So now the field, prepare to get down and dirty. We're setting the gridding order up now. Everybody ready to field them on into position. You see the gridding continue, and to begin, the McCann boys will be separated from this one. Brian gets it started. Kevin follows suit. Kevin McCann is streaming up on his live end right now as well, Kevin McCann Gaming. So if you want to check that out as well, Jesse King and Neil Quick will move up into position. So the R&R Racewear, Neil Quick will get a little bit of an advantage. Jesse King, hopefully, can start to dial things up and get things ready to go here as our field gets ready to settle them back down onto the show. Race fans, we're ready to get down and dirty here on the track and here on the show, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Spartan Logistic Management LLC iRacing IROC Series coming your way here and now at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Field will set the pace off out of turn 4 this time by. We're getting ready to go down and dirty here. It's time to get down to the racing. Here we go at the start. McCann leads them up. We're underway. Fire them up out of turn 1 and 2 out of the gate. Everybody's looking for position early. The 83 of Brandon Medford going to put the MFR right up ahead and trying to put the fight to King as he goes right down on the back straightaway ahead of Neil Quick. Top line down, top shelf to the bottom shelf will be the preferred line here tonight. These drivers going to have a lot of trouble though coming off those exits. You saw it right there. Medford Gets up east of it already. And Cody Harker already off the track. The 66 having major problems coming out of turn 4. Manages to straighten up and get belted back into position, but a lot of time lost just from that little bobble alone. Charging them off around the course. Jesse King looking to make a move off on Brian McCann. What we looked at, the Kyle Ben grab from the 14 going at it against Brandon Mefford. Mefford's still extremely wobbly, extremely loose in the corners. He's got to get that thing tightened up before it's too little too late for him and his crew. Neil Quick starting to charge up on the outside line. Chris Wally looking to the inside. Here comes the pink and white number 5 up into position. The former season champion trying to make a name again for himself in this series. He has not had the season that he feels he is owed and deserved. He's looking to change that here tonight. And the best way to do it, make a name for yourself by putting up fights to everyone else. We go on board with the former season champion. See the tires just digging into the ground, into the cement there of the concrete wall, under the concrete surface. That is, of course, Charlotte Motor Speedway. This asphalt turf terrain. It's a very hard track to swallow, but at the same time, it's a very hard track to win on. And you got to be very, very careful about where you make your moves and where you make your runs off at, because one slight wrong move can cost you everything. On board here, Kevin McCann, and Brian McCann here. Kevin McCann currently way back in the field at the moment. Brian McCann trying to put the Spartan Logistics Management R&R Racewear machine up ahead here as Jesse King tries to fight him off in position early on. And it is very early in this 150 lap run, but you can see already that purple line, that purple time right there. That means he has the fastest time already set. McCann has got a good run off with that 30.117. But look at Jesse King. You can see the green right below his name. He's actually catching them as they progress. My ultimate question is will there be enough time to catch all of them, to be able to beat them out at their own playing field, their own game plan here? On board here with the 87, Eric Dodson right now. He moves it right up there with Chris Mefford. Chris trying to hold the Tundra in line, trying to keep ahead of Dodson. If Dodson can make a run here on the back straight away, I think he might have a shot at shooting him out here. The State Farm Insurance Ford F-150 looking to make a move off to the bottom off the runs of the corner. Every driver for themselves here as they keep continuing the speed, continue the power and the momentum. On board here with Tim Schofield here as well as Doug Wysocki. Tries to keep pace, trying to keep in near. Aaron Smith, 70 machine going right off the bottom, and there's no surprise here that Double Trouble himself likes to move through the field. I don't know why I call him Double Trouble. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it seems like every time he comes out, he's almost like a double whammy on the drivers. It's like he can drive fast, and he's very good at keeping his lap times consistent. I think that's the reason why we call him Double Trouble out here right now. It's not his actual nickname. I really don't know what kind of nickname they gave him, but if he doesn't mind Double Trouble, I think we'll stick with that. Bit of a side-by-side battle here as the 54 Cook Quick goes out of here with family member Neil Quick. The R&R Racewear boys going at it. Aaron Smith, the number 70, trying to put the virtual racing school Chevrolet Silverado up ahead of the Ford F-150s. They are continuing to dive in deep and try to fight them off. Every driver for themselves here. There are no gimme serious. Either you win or you lose. Win or lose time. Here comes that 33 of Kevin McCann, and look who he's falling right behind. The man he's trying to knock off the podium. If there was ever a little drama or a little storyline to build up, I think it writes itself. The 33 of Kevin McCann's gaming machine has got to defeat Aaron Smith by winning out in the bonus points and winning out in the races. That's the only way he's going to be able to catch him. Aaron Smith has such a lead in the points race right now. It's not even funny, really. It's almost unfair how much of a lead he's got on him. Still strapping themselves down, trying to keep up with the position, trying to keep up with the ground clearance here. Right now, number 14, Kyle Pengraff, still trying to put the loud pedal TV machine ahead of Chris Wally. The number 5 continuing to hold off the race lead. Looking for a little bit more push, looking for a little more momentum, I would say. Probably would be the main objective here, but the 14 of Pengraff doesn't seem to be getting the right idea or getting that idea in his mind. I think he's just focused on trying to stick with the corners and stick with the run. Remember, also, there are 3 stages here tonight. So 3 stages means they are going to be basically doing a very long first stage. The second stage is kind of an intermediate, medium kind of run. But that third and final, which is a quick shootout, that's where the points are going to matter. And that's where things are going to be very crucial to survival to the finish. If you're any of these drivers out here. Pengraff right now going at it with Wally, but right behind him there, Chris Mefford is looking to eye himself a position or 2 off. He's the only Toyota Tundra at the moment that is anywhere near this field of the runners. I got told earlier on today that those Tundras were seemingly a little bit in trouble as of late. They had some problems keeping up with the speeds and keeping up time zones. The Chevrolets were seemingly just a little bit better, a little bit more on the edge, and the Ford F-150s weren't too far off, but right now I'm seeing nothing but Chevrolets and then 1 Tundra in the top 10, and then of course there's Eric Dotson in 87. We can't forget about him. He's been having a pretty good season as well for everything considered. Got himself a race win back literally at Talladega Super Speedway. As we get a little bit of a bump and run there, the number 2 Neil Quick goes for a little side skirt, side whammy sandal air attitude run. Oh, he's lucky he kept that thing online, otherwise that would not have been good. Could have been a treacherous area to say the least, but he was able to recenter and re-stretch off. Back on board here is the number 22 of Matt Kopp, continues to eye Carter and Quick. Harper right now trying to stay ahead of all of them. And David Tremblay, the number 96, now moves the chains. That's the key thing I'm looking for here tonight, is how much momentum can they carry and how much of those corners can they get. Because the turns here, oh, that was not what I meant by catching the turns there. What a save though. What a save, Mike Harper, the number 4. I don't know how he brought that one back to life, but my goodness. He was gone and it came back. Let's take a look at the PTM instant replay. Watch this one from the chopper cam. Watch very closely. Look at this. They get a little too close together here for their own liking. Harper looks like he's trying to set the turn up. Here comes Quick. And look at this. He was dead sideways at the 45-degree angle he sent in. He brings it right back up. Kopp with the presence of mind backs off, lets him in. And they charge ahead. Great stuff by the number 4. Good control and consistency for him. But unfortunately, as just mentioned, he lost a couple spots there and has to work it back up. Now look at this, the battle of the Meffords, as the MFers are going to have to deal with double trouble again. Here comes that double whammy on the track. Is Aaron Smith, I swear, just has no logistical way of slowing down. This man only knows one thing, the pedal and the metal. And he knows how to put each of them together in a perfect harmony that most world countries would like to have these days, I would think, especially with coronavirus running around. That should be on the point. Kevin McCann still trying to hunt down Smith. Looks like he might be backing off a slight bit here. We're taking a look at our lap times here right now. Let's take a look at Chris Mefford and McCann, and it looks like McCann is catching Mefford by a good margin. He's actually got of course, Smith kind of blocked in, kind of changed off, so Smith might be a little bit in trouble if he's not careful here with running him down. Whole field starting to pull back together. Third place driver right now, Vincent Short, trying to keep it from being too short and giving up anything to the 5. They're all packed in together here. We've got ourselves a battle. Battle for third. Vincent Short, the Holla Boys are hollering. He's trying to rock and roll it out to the front and into the wind. He's still searching for that first win. Oh, that's not going to do you good. Oh, no. Oh man, that was a hard break there. Once again, Chris Wally just can't seem to catch a break no matter what he does and no matter where he goes. He gets spent, he gets sent to the upper room, and he goes for a ride and a half. That's the danger you run when you're this close together. But that's the hard racing aspect of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here's another look at it. Boy, watch this. You can see Medford, he's got a hard run coming up. And right there, just the slightest net code can get you off loose, but at the same time, it can hurt you. And look at Kevin McCann. He gets tagged, but he has the presence of mind to back off and try to straighten away, but same can't be said for some of the other drivers, unfortunately. The 66 gets a piece of that one, and looks like Eric Dotson as well is going to take some damage here. That was your PTM Instant Replay presented by tonight by Loud Pedal TV. There's Dotson, and I'm not sure what kind of a show he's trying to put on in the front straightaway, but that's one thing that you can do. Man, what a tough break, though. You gotta feel for these guys when they get into those wrecks. They get into them so quickly, they don't even realize what had happened until it's too little too late. And then you're just trying to scratch your head and trying to fight back into this. Field getting back out of pit road. Cook Quick right now still on the lead lap. Actually going to take over the lead lap here. He's going to be in the lead, at least until he decides to go to pit road. Brian McCann, the number 3, comes out first. Jesse King second, and then Vincent Short third. And right behind him will be Aaron Smith, Neil Quick, Kyle Pengraff, and David Tremblay. That'll round out your top 8 here, as now we present to you the points race here tonight. And right now, folks, I want you to pay close attention to the top 10. Right now, this is where the points matter, and this is where positions are really going to start counting and be very crucial here. Smith right now and Kevin McCann, they're battling for the race championship. They're battling for the season championship. But top 10, look at that. Tied for the top 10, and then right behind them, only separated out, 13th and 12th. They're right there in the fight, and they're right there in the hunt. As everyone from 15 on back at this point, just kind of racing for the love of the racing series and love for the fans out there that want to put on a show. Hasn't been their best series, their best kind of nights, unfortunately, as they presented on our show here before. But nevertheless, they're still out here to put on a fight, put on a little bit of a show, and put on a run there for you fans at home, of course. And at the end of the day, I think we can all agree that is worth showing some love and support back to them. So again, guys, if you haven't already, check out their Facebook end here as well on the iRacing IROC series. We have the link and the notification down in the description here on the Facebook live stream. Currently under pit road at the moment. Brian McCann, the number 3, we're on board here with him at the moment. You hear the roar of these things, the beast, just trying to keep them cool, trying to keep them under pressure. The one thing they don't want to do is try to waste fuel out there. Fuel going to be a very key role in this race here tonight. As we take a look at our pit stop times now, presented by, of course, iRacing Racers Lounge podcast. And times-wise, again, Cook Quick did not go into pit road, and he is opting not to go in. But look at this, Kevin McCann, he took about a 15-second pit stop. While Jesse King had about a 14.7 and a 14.8 for Vincent Short. Didn't come up short, that's for sure. And then Aaron Smith, 14.9. Neil Quick, a 15-second. How about this? Pengraff and Mefford, 2 completely different time zones on that one. A 16.7 and then a 20.6. So that more than likely is on fuel. Because the thing is, they are running on a restricted plate of fuel, so they have to fill it in enough just so they can keep up the distance and keep up with the times. And especially when they get into the later half of the stages, that fuel strategy may be the biggest factor to success or losing in this case. And for those at home that are now tuning in for the very first time here tonight, we do appreciate you coming on board as well, and certainly hope you're enjoying the show and enjoying our time here tonight. If you guys would, please like and follow us up on Facebook, head to our Twitter and Instagram to catch all the action when we go live, of course, and also our latest news and info line. As PTM Racing TV continues to grow, we cannot thank you enough for everything you've done. And again, the more you support our show, the more you support the channel, the bigger and better we can get and make it more fun for you guys out there. We're currently got some projects in the pipeline that you can only see from our PTM Racing TV channels on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and Instagram. So we appreciate all the love and support, and we hope you guys continue to help us out as much as we'll help you out around here. Here we go now. Field ready to rock them off out of the front straightaway here. Back into the track and on the zone. We're underway once again. 19 of the best drivers in the iRacing IROC series have come forth to challenge down at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and now they are continuing into stage 1 zone. Clearance off the run now. Right now, Cook, looks like the number 54, Cook Quick, will back off and let the other guys that have been in pit road ahead of him. Looked like he just wanted to get the extra points for leading a lap. Not a bad idea by any means. That can help him out for the long term. But for Brian McCann, I think it's just a little redemption here tonight. He wants another victory here on the show. He's had a solid performance last time out down in Circuit of the Americas. Him and Kevin McCann as well had a great showing, where it was really Aaron Smith that kind of snuck his way in and had a little fight with the boys. It would go that night, I believe, to Kevin there, and Brian would come up a solid third. But for Kevin that night, I gotta believe he was very happy, knowing that with only 3 races left, he's got a chance and got a shot at possibly knocking down the best drivers out there. But in order to continue it, he's got to get ahead and win more races. Nice David Tremblay currently your leader right now, as Mr. Cook Quick will have to have a little bit of company. Here comes the Spartan iRacing IROC Series number 22, Matt Kopp. And Kopp right now looking like a bit of a cop playing a little bit of the robber. He gets ahead of the robber and stops him dead in his tracks. Matt Kopp now moving ahead. Doug Wysocki, the number 9 Chevrolet Silverado, trying to stay ahead here of Mr. Kopp as Matt looks to possibly build up the run. The one thing you're going to notice here tonight as well, you see a lot of drivers I mentioned earlier on, they're going up top shelf, then straight to the bottom shelf as they go into turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The biggest thing you see here again with that tri-oval section is really the amount of tires that burn off and the amount of runs that they can get. It's a very strict and hard little surface to break down and really master. Cornering is a very crucial aspect of Charlotte Motor Speedway, but I think the biggest thing that makes this track so much fun to run and very difficult for drivers is the fact that it is one of, if not the most important tracks on the NASCAR circuit for many years. It was a track that basically kind of helped start and jumble up the SMI Motor Speedway Incorporation, of course. It was, of course, also the track that helped kind of garner NASCAR's reputation and really built the speeds and really built a reputation for them. It's a track that, frankly, just has a lot of heart and a lot of soul to it, and there's a reason why it'll always be on the NASCAR schedule for as long as we can think of. And it seems like as the times change, it changes with it, including even the Charlotte Roval they created down there. There's a little bit of hills up top, a little bit of a landscape of a track there. It's a beautiful facility, a very interesting little road course to run around. But of course tonight we're not on the road course, we're running on the oval. As mentioned earlier on, Vincent Short and his teammate Eric Dodson, they are all trying to stay in the top 10. They're trying to keep their hopes and dreams and chances alive on having a good season finish. Championship-wise, you might as well consider that done and over with. Because Kevin McCann and Aaron Smith are the only two that will even have a chance in this lifetime of this season to get that win. But the good news is for them, I think really that they can take from this all is they can take away the experience and the strategy that they'll have to play into season 4. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will rejoin these drivers and more in season 4 series coming up just in a couple of weeks. Believe me, we are ready to see what they've got in store. We've seen what the tracks have been presented to us, and we will know what it takes time in the future. But I'll say one thing, man. There is a lot of interesting tracks that I think is going to really push these drivers to their limits and push them to their mental standpoint. Wysocki's still trying to stay ahead of Matt Kopp, as Kopp right now still continues to eye him like a fat man on a donut. Okay, that was probably my worst joke of the night. I apologize. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't like donuts, guys. All right. I was trying to say basically like it was a police officer, police officer eyeing that old donut. Instead, it came out something I usually would say at work. So apologies to those at home. Although to be honest, not like I haven't said worse around here. So that's around the point. Anyway, back to the action. Currently, right now, 12th. We mentioned earlier, Kevin McCann. He's not going to get any bonus points here if he's not careful. If he's not getting back up to the front, I think that spin strategy may have cost him dearly. It may have slowed him down a bit. The damage certainly does not help him at all. And you saw earlier on, he got into kind of a little bit of a groove launch there. That's got to be a hard, really kind of a tough pill to swallow, if you will, in my opinion, because you now know. You had a chance at making a run for bonus points. You had a chance for making a run at the field. Now you don't even get that anymore. You just basically are kind of left hanging high and dry. Here comes down the bottom, though. Looks like Vincent Short's trying to show the boys here that he can hang with the best of them. Look at this. Jesse King having some problems trying to hold back the 15. Vincent is getting a good run off. Looks like he's going to make a run for it on the bottom. At turn 1 and 2, got a run. Yes, he does. At a turn 2, side by side here, drag race down the back straightaway. This is where things get interesting. Can he hammer it down and keep ahead of him into the corner? Aaron Smith is watching from a distance. He's loving every minute of this. They get a little bit of tag here down turn 4. Manages to hold it off there. Looks like it's going to be a side by side drag race continuing on. Just a scope in the field of this 1.5 mile long track, just giving you a great example of just how tough and difficult it is for these drivers to master each other and defeat each other out. Aaron Smith watching from the back here. Looks like he wants to play a little double trouble on the two of these guys. Well, he's got a very good chance of it now. King and Smith battled way too hard, and now Smith is just going to sneak right by one of them. King gives him the door. He opens it up. Now will Short open the door. He's going to have to try to either block him on the backstretch or make a run for it. Kevin McCann has gone into pit road now. He's going to try and set himself up for the next stage. That's going to be his game plan here. I don't know how well that'll work for him, though. Side by side battle for the second place spot now. Smith trying to hold on, trying to keep his distance. The virtual racing school now has pulled ahead. And the holler boys are hollering in the crib, and they're hollering down there in the trailer. Vincent Short knows he's going to have a little bit of work to do, and Brian McCann, if I'm that number 3 driver right now, I'm thinking, man, what do I have to do to hold this guy back? He just continues to come at me. And that doesn't help when lap traffic gets to be in the way. Unfortunately, Chris Wally, that little wreck earlier on cost him a lot of time. Really precious amount of time. And it's hurting him. He is trying to get up there. Dakota Clark, number 38, loves machine, trying to throw a little love out on the track here tonight. But unfortunately, I don't think the truck is giving it much of the same. Rocking it in, number 12 right now, currently. While his other comrades there, much like the number 12 of Tim Schofield, continues to hold the charge and hold the line down. Now we saw Schofield last week at Circuit of the Americas. Boy, did have a fight and put on a show there. He was running the course, he was running those turns in extremely well, but was not quite what he had hoped for or what he was really aiming for when it came to the race win-wise, because he ended up falling victim to the abnormal just comprehension that is racing, which basically translates into anything can happen and everything will happen around here. Wysocki, Schofield still each other's game plan. Everyone looking to maybe make a move off the other, maybe a little run or two out of the corners. No one giving any inches just yet. We got a little bit of a battle back here as Jesse King is falling victim to the long run haul. The 93 is slowing down tremendously here. The R&R Racewear number 2 deals quick. We'll move it right into the 4th place spot now as he is on a hard charge. He's on a mission. He wants to take one of the Vincent boys down. He's got a holler boy in his sight. As you can see, times-wise right now, as we're starting to get closer and closer to stage break, it's getting very interesting, to say the least. Field starting to spread out just slightly. Now remember though, when we get to that 3rd stage, the final stage, remember it's going to be a just quick shootout. There are no more long runs, no more little, okay, we could stay easy for now and then just smash the loud pedal later. No. That's not how it works in the final stage. The final stage, depending on where you're at, could mean the difference between success and loss. As the Holler Boys Racing coming on board now, they're saying, let's go Vince. Well, Vincent Short still ahead of Neil Quick here at the moment. Fellow Conrad teammate Eric Dotson, unfortunately, problems down there for him and his team in the F-150, and he is going to have to get that thing repaired and fixed up quickly. He is in trouble of losing his top 10 spot if he's not careful here in the next coming races. Neil Quick has caught up right there with him. Looks like Vincent Short knows he is in trouble because Quick is right on his tail end. Aaron Smith goes into pit road. McCann already went into pit road earlier run, and I think that's really what he was hoping for. At the 15 now, Vincent Short goes in here for a little stretch, and wait a minute. Getting word right now there is a problem down there for Kevin McCann. He has not gone out on the pit road. He is stuck in there. Something is wrong. You gotta be kidding me, Ott. Something has gone wrong. A mechanical failure might have just ended and derailed the championship night for Kevin McCann and his team, which means Aaron Smith, the only thing he needs to do really is just punch laps in and punch in some times, and he will win the season championship in the next couple of weeks. What a tough break for the 33 of the Kevin McCann Gaming Chevrolet Silverado. That's gotta be absolutely just devastating, to say the least. I can't even fathomize what it must feel like under that car, under that truck right now. Or can I fathomize just how probably this man feels at the moment? Aaron Smith and Neil Quick gonna have a little bit of a scruffle here, it looks like, as you saw Smith trying to make a move on the outside of Quick. Now Smith still has to finish the races, folks. He can't just exactly get away with stuff. He's got to still finish the race out. The 70 getting a good run off there as Neil now passing Quick. He'll be back on the lead lap, but he's still a good number of laps. He's still got a chunk of lap down. Vincent Short going into pits. He ended up going back down to the 11th spot. David Trumbley on the lead lap, trying to stay presumably within a time frame here of keeping up with the guys, keep up the crew here. Battle for 8th here as Mefford and Short now looking to equalize and fight it out with amongst each other. Short trying to stay right there with Mefford, maybe try to back the corners up a little bit more so he's got time to breathe, time to stay within the pocket. Gap and grab moving into 3rd place now as Tim Schofield gives himself a little bit of breathing room, looks like. Maybe the number 12 will stay in the hunt, stay in the shot throughout his time zone right now. Pengraf moves down into 4th because of that pass. Judging by how much slower Pengraf is getting right now, I got a feeling he's probably setting up for a pit stop. There it is. Yep, coming out of turn 4. He'll head it down to pit road. You're probably wondering at home, like, hey, wait a minute, why don't they just speed down to the pit road? Why don't they just get a lot more, why don't they just really floor it until they absolutely have to get on the brake and stop? Well, there's 2 reasons why you don't want to do that. Number 1, in pit road wise, there is a speed limit. Yes, there are speed limits here, and there, even though it's NASCAR and it's racing, there are speed limits in this kind of ordeal. You have to go in at a certain pace and time, as well as the fact that you have to get these trucks some time to slow down, otherwise they will spin out from underneath you. It may seem like they're maybe just all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive trucks that basically have a good front and rear suspension to brake, but I'll tell you one thing, that rear end, if you over brake it just a slight spin, you're not steering out of it in a corner on a little bit of a stretch or a wall in, yeah, you might as well just consider your race totaled and done, especially when you're right near anybody on this track. By the way, the 96 now, your new leader here in the Ford F-150, trying to stay in the clearance zone as we're about 100 laps left to go here. Schofield goes into pit road, which means Aaron Smith is the last remaining of the yellow bees out here to come up in the race. Yellow bee, what am I talking about, man? I'm losing with this guy. He's literally just, like, this whole season that we came on board for, it just seems like he just continues to dominate and just to show his worth. And again, he's taken down the likes of former champions and Brian McCann and Kevin McCann. Now, Brian was your season 2 champion and what many consider probably the best of the rest. When it came to that championship hunt, that came to that championship battle, he was just extremely tough to knock off the person, knock off the championship bout on there. But I would say one thing, that Kevin McCann, his brother / family member, certainly was right there with him from the very start to the very beginning. And he has shown that he can perform under high pressure situations and high pressure times. So it's not like that he can't keep up with the teams and keep up the crew. I think it's just a matter of he just doesn't really have the time and the opportunities to get as much as I think he was hoping for. And especially considering that this season has been a bit of a wild one when it comes to catching a break or getting any luck. You can start to see what I mean there. So the only one right now that is keeping everybody a lap down, that's David Strumley, the number 96. As they go on board here with Doug Stockton, the number 34. The all-speed seems like these guys are kind of on just cruise control right now. They're not even really worried about trying to play second fiddle or trying to play the absolute hand of the best here. They only really care about one thing, and that's just making sure they stay within reach, stay within the run. See the tires just kind of digging in, caving more into the surface, the asphalt terrain playing field. That is Charlotte Motor Speedway down here again in Concord, North Carolina. Absolutely beautiful facility, beautiful layout and stretch amongst one another. There's a lot that can go on here. There's a lot of great moments that we've seen come out onto our show. But I think if anything, I don't think I've ever seen a set of group of drivers in these truck series that continuously come out here, put up a fight, put on a show, and still hope for the best and hope that maybe they can one day catch one break and get ahead of everybody. And it seems like the plate tracks were the common thread, the common theme for that. that chance to win it out, trying to win out, get a good spot up or two. As we now have a new leader in Aaron Smith now. He takes the race lead away here as the field continues to fight him on down. Smith at the lead, and at this moment, looks like we're going to come up on about 9 to go. I believe we're going to go to lap 70 for our stage break, which will be the halfway point. Then 75, they should be firing him back up for the green. And again, where we're going into tonight, the overwhelming feel was Kevin McCann able to get there with Aaron Smith and fight it out amongst him and the crew. That was the storyline going in, but now it's really just becoming a matter of, can Aaron Smith just be defeated? Because Kevin McCann is gone. He is the truck is out. He's out of the place. He's out of the building. Not really sure, you know, what happened down there. We're still trying to get some kind of radio command, some kind of idea of what exactly transpired down there, but no one is talking with us in the moment. We hope to give you further information on that and hope to give you further communications when we can. But right now, I'm being told Kevin has not wanting anything to do with anybody right now or talking with anything, I guess, other than maybe his truck. I think he might have a few words for his truck here tonight. That's about all I can say there. Jesse King just starting to just move and shrew through the field. Vincent Short being one of them. Passed them in pretty quickly and pretty well, I would say. And top 10 almost a lap already, if not already a lap down. That is just beyond ridiculous to say the least here. Tim Schofield now the number 12. Starting to make a run off Vincent Short. He's slowing up a lot here. I'm not sure if Vincent is really just trying to keep himself in play, or maybe something is going wrong with that Holler Boys 15, but he is slowing down badly here. King, Tim Schofield going to have a little fight on their hands here. Schofield on the outside, Jesse King right on the inside. It says they're battle for 5th. Schofield, how about that? What a run there on the outside. That's usually a line you don't see most drivers can get some speed off of, but Schofield made it look real easy there. That looks stupid easy on his end, man. He just made it look like there was nothing to it and there's nothing wrong. Speaking of nothing wrong, I would say right now, Aaron Smith might not want to be turning his head too much because Brian McCann is still right behind him. And there could be something very wrong here if he's not careful. Look at the sea of green, and that's not even a money pit there, my friends, although you could consider it a money pit considering how much he was making off these turns and off these corners for the times-wise. Absolutely hammering away and getting a very good position in. The 70 is in deep, deep trouble if McCann catches him. And there's only a couple laps remaining here. For Brian, it's not really a matter of just getting the stage points. I think it's just a little redemption for his family member, Kevin. Knowing that Kevin is pretty much out of this one at this point. Unless he can somehow, some way get Aaron Smith to just literally mess up an entire race or two. Points-wise, they're just going to be that much harder to gain off of. Fielding him down into position. Right now, it is still anybody's guess whether or not Brian has enough time to catch Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith ran so hard, ran so well here in the stage. And for stage 1, I got to admit, it's no surprise that he is in the race lead already and that he is ahead of most of the field. But the ultimate question is, in stage 2, does that translate over and can he continue to connect with the speed, connect with the times? That will remain to be seen. Final laps coming out on stage 1. Like I see the fire in the eyes of Brian McCann, man. He is giving it everything he can, just hoping for the best, hoping for some break, something. There is the yellow flag, though, so that may be the break he was looking for, if you will. Maybe our second caution of the night, but this is the first caution of the stage breaks, that is. And with that in mind, that leads to one thing. Will Aaron Smith be able to stay ahead of the field and stay ahead of all drivers and those that come before him? You will find out when we come back. We're having fun down here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Continue with us here as we continue with this race. Well, tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at Spartan Logistic Management LLC, by R&R Racewear, by Loud Pedal TV, smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment, by iRacers Lounge Podcast, we talk all things iRacing in a casual setting, and of course by Evidence Based Mommy, combining science and wellness for thriving families. It's where Samantha Radford finds science and wellness to help moms and their kids thrive. And here at the moment here, I think everybody can agree that we've been a lot of thriving drivers and a lot of thriving carries around this track. But, you know, the biggest thing I'm really noticing too is just, it seems like those that are up front, they either got two things going on. Number one, they're either trying to accentuate and really overdrive the corners just a little bit more than the other, or they're just not keeping up with the distance and keeping up with the times that I feel like some of the guys in the mid-pack are getting when they start to build the speed up. Again, we know this is a long-run track. This setup is literally built for an enduro-style racing, basically, where only the fastest and the strongest can survive and compete. Again, there's a reason why Martin Truex Jr. is just so darn good around here, because really, he's extremely good at making a long-run, long-haul setup. The Coke 600 is a great example of that. And as you can see as well here with our top 10 and everybody else in between, not obviously under the Coke 600 banner, but still I would say it's a pretty good amount of it. Eric Dodson going to this night, he is also kind of a bit of a shocking story here. David Tremblay will move ahead of him due to mechanical failures on Dodson's end. Dodson's still trying, and I think and hoping and praying for maybe a little break or so, but don't think he's going to get it. Meanwhile, the teammate, Vincent Short, as you can see, he's in a pretty comfortable spot here for the top 10. Just needs to really punch in laps, really punt the laps down in, and I think he'll be just fine. But there is a lot at stake, and there's a lot going on for these drivers, and I don't even think they realize what they'll have to work with coming in the last section of this one. Chris Mefford, the 46, and Tim Schofield deciding to stay out, it looks like. I don't know if they went into pit road a little earlier on, although looking at times-wise, yes, they did indeed go into pit road. So I have to take my words back and eat my own words. And it looks like Aaron Smith and Brian McCann are going to be rather closer to each other than I think they want to be at this moment. I only say that because you saw a little bit earlier with Smith and McCann. McCann was literally hounding Aaron Smith by a long shot. Built up a lot of speed, built up a lot of running momentum, and I think that's kind of the scary part about it is, you know, is Aaron Smith going to be able to outsmart and outwit Brian McCann for the long haul? Smith will have to go back into pit road here to get put back in the pack here. Brian McCann will do the same in just a little bit. All boils down to strategy here on what they're up to. And I got a feeling McCann is searching more towards that long run if I've noticed anything. lights flicker and flash, that means one thing. That means the lights are off on the pace car, and it's time to bring the drivers back to reality and back to the scope of things. See everyone trying to get themselves in line, trying to get everybody fielded in the spot they're supposed to, so we can drive them back off. Remember, we're about to reach the halfway point here as well. And if you guys are new to the show, so as we said here before, be sure to like and follow us up here on our Facebook and to our Twitter and Instagram handles as well. You'll catch all the latest info in our information line, as well as some other things we present on the show for future endeavors and references. Have a few projects still in the works, and also if you guys haven't already, head to our YouTube channel to subscribe there. You ever need to find the race you're after, or try to find the race you want to watch? Well, from our Facebook Live, all races will go right to YouTube end, and they will be in there for your viewing pleasure. They'll have a custom thumbnail to them, so you know which one you're looking for, which one you're going after. It does take a lot of time to actually do these, much less even get them done the way we does them. So if you guys do subscribe there, it really does help us. It helps the channel out. So it may seem like much, but it takes like 2 seconds to get a little subscription signed up with us, whereas it takes us 2 hours at times to even get any of these broadcasts up on YouTube, and that's not including doing the broadcast itself. So here we go. We are now fielded back into position. Drivers prepare to lock horns just one more time. And here we go, race vans off the running, off the start. Drivers head them off to the corners. We are back underway here at Charlotte. Right now, everyone kind of feel in the mid-pack right now. They kind of go back a little bit of a ways. All three whites, holy smokes! Brian McCann just literally launches it right out of the corner. He had a hard charge there, had a little bit of a run or two off the corner there. May have to make some speed up and some distance. Problems down there for Jesse King for a slight minute. It looks like he's got more problems. The 93 getting caught up in a mix of things. They got caught up in a whole row list of problems here. Let's take a look at this one. Look at this, just overdrives coming out of turn 4 there, and I don't even know what the heck happened. I just know that rear end slid right out from underneath him. And he didn't even realize it was too little too late till it already had happened. Medford, the MFer himself. No, that does not stand for you think so. It's just his last name kind of simplified. He is right now moving up in position. He's currently up 14 spots, whereas Vincent Short, your new leader in the number 15 Holler Boys Racing, is currently up 5 spots where he started at in this race. Tony Westcott coming on board saying, are the races on during the winter? Oh yes sir. The races don't just end in the summer and spring, my friends. We don't take breaks. We will make sure there is some kind of stream, some kind of race at least once a week. If anything, we may have to make our own. Who cares? We will have racing from spring, summer, fall, and winter. You do not worry about that one little bit. You will see racing no matter what. And hopefully it's as good as the battles we're seeing right now. Vincent Short getting a big opening there and gave it up to Medford. Medford, the MFer now takes his shot and moves it right up ahead. It is now Medford's time to be the new leader. And Aaron Smith trying to get back right up with the field, trying to get back into the charge here. David Tremblay trying to give himself a little bit of chance of staying in the top 10 so he can get a maximum points for him and his team to stay in, to get ahead of the top 10 driver being Eric Dodson, who he's tied with right now. Nicky Short coming on board in here tonight saying, let's go Vince. A lot of love down there for the Holler boys. Tell you, Westcott saying he looks like he dropped his hot pocket. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure which one you're referring to. I'm assuming you're talking about Jesse King earlier on. Ryan McCann right now, the number 3, trying to get back up with the field, trying to get back into the hunt of things. He's got Vincent Short in front, right in front of him here with Kyle Pengraff and David Trumlin kind of being the gatekeepers to him. I don't know if you can tell, but like right behind that green truck, that's where Ryan McCann is at the moment. He's trying to get ahead to second place and then for the lead. And the thing is, Ryan didn't have to start too far back. Really, the lap traffic became a big factor for these drivers, more than I think the leaders even realized, and even Aaron Smith caught a lot of them and caught a lot of drivers in that field, and then with Ryan catching right back up to him, it really was anybody's guess on who was going to get the better of the two. One thing I just never realized, or I didn't really figure out, is how smooth and how clear of transition Aaron Smith can be. Not really any track for that matter. It seems like once this guy came into the ball game, came into the playing field, he just literally found all the speed and all the runs that everybody else had over the course of their time, and just really took it all from him. Tony, I have no comment to that, but especially not on a broadcast, so I'm just going to say that right now. If you guys are watching on Facebook Live and for the YouTube commenters that come by here, let's just say sometimes some of these comments I cannot comment on for a reason, so let's just say that. Doug Wysocki down, having to deal with the 15 and the number 3 right beside or behind him. McCann looking to down, playing what he wants, and that is the throw ahead. Short, trying to defend off Wysocki down the way. That's going to cost him major time and trouble there. Wysocki connects there with Vincent Short, and Vincent's run gets settled back down and put a lot of positions down. Oh my. I know that's hard racing, but good lord, that has got to be absolutely frustrating for that number 15 team. Let's find out what happened here with the PTM Mr. Replay. Take a close look at this in the battle coming in through 3 and 4. That's how close they were coming into the turn. Here's what happened right here. Look at that. That's not even really fair, man. That was really just a slice left tap, and it cost both of them. Man, oh man, what a wreck. Now with your PTM Instant Replay brought to you by our good friends over tonight by Spartan Logistic Man LLC. Well, quick managed to get ahead of Vincent while Mike Harper there was battling him out a little bit in the number 4 spot. And now Kyle Pengraff maybe going to help out the 3 just a slight bit, trying to push him ahead to get up there with the number 40 out of Chris Mepper before Aaron Smith can. Or maybe he's just going to run it for himself. Got a few favorites in the house as well here. Cecilia Williams coming on board here tonight. Cecilia Simmons, great to have you on, my friend. Good to hear from you. Looks like Ryan McCann already heading for pit roads. Looks like his strategy is going to be playing out more than I think Smith's will be for the moment. Smith is already back in the 3rd place spot though, so don't think what I say really matters to him. Let's just say that. guys. That's right now. Chris Mefford goes into pit road. So Aaron Smith, Cook Quick, Tim Schofield, Vincent Short, Justin King will stay out there with Neil Quick. Neil is your new leader at the moment as number 2 continues to charge ahead here. Here goes Mefford back out on the track, and the MFer will have to see to it that Justin King comes right by him. Remember earlier on, Justin King had the same problem coming out of turn 4, the same thing that happened to Vincent Short with Doug Wysocki. And I gotta believe that was probably the most infuriating and most frustrating thing to this race for him and his crew. Having to go through that little situation, that little bump off, little run off, and then seeing everything just kind of go below his eyes. Mefford is starting to push, starting to shove, starting to run off everybody that gets in his way. King goes ahead of him on the lead lap, but it does not seem to be the case anymore. You got a pack of hungry drivers now in the mix of this one. Short passed in already, but he is still holding the top 5 up. Brian McCann and Chris Mefford have a little run there, it looks like. I think the radio command is to control the field and control the timing, and McCann says, I don't control nothing other than my own destiny. Get out of the way here. Yeah, Mefford. 46 of Mefford is going to be in trouble here. Trying to hold him off though, trying to stay with him just a little bit longer. They go 3 wide for a 3-minute quick game right out of the way. He had nothing to do with that one. Up front, this is where things get real interesting. Neil Quick, the number 2, and the 70 of Aaron Smith. As I say that, Aaron Smith goes into pit road. Looks like he wants to try to get a field day of strategy in for the last bit. Tony Westcott saying what I said, he dropped the hot pocket. I was referring to the other Iowa State. Just keep me clean. Okay, I'm from Iowa. Okay, man, I don't know about that one. I've never heard of any Iowa State that one. I think he may be the first guy I've seen. Maybe it's a regional thing over here on our state. I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of like Des Moines. You got the south side, you got the east side, you got the west and the north. Like nobody really likes anybody on the east, and then a lot of folks hate the south side, and no one really either cares for the west or the north all that much. It's kind of like how I know the divisionals. So I don't know. You help me out on that one. That's kind of an Iowa thing. I've never heard of that Iowa thing, to be honest with you. So Smith right now looks like his strategy may have worked out perfectly here, because this little pit strategy has put him back up there with the fight into the position zone. Mefford and McCann now on the hunt. And McCann trying to get ahead of Smith so he can have a shot. And taking some bonus points away from him, trying to help out family member Kevin. Smith knows he has been pretty much put behind the 8 ball. He's been put behind all the toughest obstacles this entire season. But he seemingly has just been doing his own thing, having nothing but just great races and great performances, to say the least. Tim Schofield right now is your race leader, as Kyle Pengraff is right behind him, right in front of him, I should say. He has Schofield right behind him in this case. I think we haven't done this all night, but let's go and take a look at our little cockpit view here and now go on board with Schofield. As I mentioned earlier on, a lot of these drivers want to aim towards the high side and then bring it back to the bottom. And you're probably wondering, why is that? If you look at the way the banking is, the way the corners are, you see there's a little bit of a hill, a little bit of a ridge to come up off the corner of the top end of the entry for 3 and 1. Now, the biggest thing is, when you're coming off out of turn 2 or 4, you have to be careful about that little uphill downslope that can send your truck, car, whatever you're driving straight to the right to help build and maintain the speed. What Schofield's doing right now is absolutely what you need to be doing anytime you run Charlotte Motor Speedway. Just stay consistent and pure with the track as we're loading into our final laps here. And after that, it's going to be a fight to the end. That third stage break makes the difference, and it makes it much more difficult for drivers out there. Schofield working their way off. Tim Schofield now going into pit road, so it looks like his strategy is going to be put into effect here, put in for the moment. Vincent Short looks like he'll stay out and regain the race lead. And, you know, the fact that he does have a little bit of damage up from the little tap he had earlier on in turn 4 makes me kind of wonder, does he have enough time to stay ahead of Aaron Smith and Chris Medford? Because honestly, the way he's looking right now, I don't think he's going to have enough time, fuel and tires off to give himself a fighting chance at getting the stage break. Then again, the stage break is rolling up fast, so who knows? But right now at the moment, Aaron Smith is only about 11 seconds behind, and he's kidding him literally just by about a second now off the corners. And if you don't believe me, yeah, that's not a good sign when you're seeing this time right here. 2 seconds. This is going to be about a 1.5 second run here, maybe 2 seconds from Smith here. Yep, 2 seconds gained. And that may seem like a little trivial to some of you folks out there, but believe me or not, unless we're running on a road course, if you're hearing on asphalt, someone's catching you by the seconds instead of the tenths, you best watch out. Let's just say that. Chris Medford, Brian McCann also hanging in there, just kind of hanging out in the back here, if you will. Brian currently rocking 4th place spot. He had a good run there in the first stage. Had a 2nd place finish on that end. Right now, currently, looks like he may just want to stay out of the top 3 in this case and give himself the lead for the next one. Points wise, he knows Smith's just way too far ahead. He's also just way too far ahead in position to get him pushed back at it all. Still got a feel for Kevin McCann down there, though, man. And what a just absolute heart-wrenching gut punch from him and his crew. I gotta believe he's just still infuriated about that one. We came in here tonight talking about that storyline, that advantage that everybody wanted to have, that they wanted to have a chance at. Quick, the 54, maybe looking to try to help out family member Neil Quick in the number 2. It looked like he may have been trying to pull a little bit of a block there on the number 3. But not enough time here as Cook will fall back a little bit. He's going to drive it straight down on the inside, though. Maybe make a run for it. Certainly got to give him credit for at least trying out there and really trying to put on a show and put up a little bit of a performance, if you will. These drivers just seemingly have no limits and no give or take when it comes to this kind of racing. Smith has now passed up Vincent Short. Vincent literally had the race lead for a good chunk of laps, but unfortunately for him, Aaron Smith is just way too fast and way too progressive here tonight. His speed, his consistency, and his control far beyond anyone's comprehension. Laps now remain here in this race here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Next up, of course, next week we'll see ourselves falling back in line, falling back into a little bit more of a territory we know too well. We're going down to Daytona International Speedway, where the night race will lie, and then that will pretty much wrap up our season. So next week will be the season championship, will be the season closer. Remember the last 3 races, though. Circuit of the Americas, Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Daytona International Speedway. That is like 3 completely different landscape tracks. A road course that challenged the best of them and gave Kevin McCann an opportunity to strike while the iron was hot. Comes to Charlotte, motor goes and blows. Now has to go to Daytona and just really at this point maybe ask for a little hope and a prayer. Speaking of hope and a prayer right now, Chris Befford, I think might be just spraying a little bit there. McCann just give him a little bit of a bump or two. The 3 is now on the inside, has a runoff on Befford. Anybody's ball game on who gets the advantage of the other, who gets the run off. Mefford trying to hang in there. McCann got a run, still in the bottom, drag racing them still side by side as they're coming in on turn 1 and 2. And a 3 wide stand still there, having to get around Mike Harper. Cost Mefford big time. Mefford will have to try to get Mike back up on there, the number 3. Man, talk about a tough break there. Lap traffic once again becomes a factor, becomes a situation to have to deal with. I know just from experience alone, literally just a little earlier on before we even got into this race, I had a little fun race myself, and I'll tell you one thing, lap traffic really ended up hurting and really giving me a bad headache down there. It gave me a lot of fits and a lot of troubles to have to work around. But the best only can survive on their wits and their strength in the long-term end. Right now, your top 5, Schofield, Quick, Befford, McCann, and Smith, have showed they can be that top level, that top notch, as we're down to only 35 laps remaining here. Nearing and drawing closer to the end of the stage. I believe we're going to end it right at 120. And yellow flag is out now, actually, so it looks like that will be the end of the stage. It'll be at 115, which means we'll restart at 120. And on, just like last time, in the last stage, Aaron Smith, Brian McCann, each driver in individually their own spots, their own place. So, with Neil Quick and Tim Schofield rounding out the top 5. It's a long, hard haul, and there's only one stage left. Does anybody, and I mean anybody, have a chance, have something to knock off Aaron Smith in the 70? Find out when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's race is brought to you in part by the good friends over at Spartan Logistics Management LLC. By R&R Racewear. By Loud Pedal TV. Smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment. By iRacers Lounge Podcast. We talk all things iRacing in a casual setting. And by Evidence-Based Mommy, combining science and wellness for thriving families. It's where Samantha Radford combines science and wellness for their kids to thrive. And Smith gets it fired up quickly. Does he have enough time to stay ahead of McCann? Oh, look at this, McCann! Oh, drag race out of pit road. McCann gets the advantage. Wow. Now, I'm not sure if that was exactly how he planned that out or how he was going to time that up, but right now, looking at the time zone, McCann had a 14.7 come out of pit road with Smith. Just barely losing it out here. That is a very interesting situation just arising there. What a circumstance here, my friends. This could be the thing that really helps give McCann the opportunity to finally win one. But again, he's going to have to still go to the back, so he'll have to still charge ahead of Smith and Quick. And Neil Quick, don't count him out, man. He's been fast all day long. Points-wise, though, I mean, if you're really wanting to look at just the overall diversity, the overall consistency, that these drivers have been possessing here tonight. Again, you got to remember the first stage, it was 5 points for the winner, second getting 4, third getting 3, and then top 3 in stage 2, 10, second 8, third 6. And you got to lead a lap, you get a bonus point. With 1, you win the race, it's 3 extra. With 2 giving you the pole. That's why in qualifying, that's why these drivers run as hard as they do. They're trying to get themselves a fair shake at things. That's why Kevin McCann was running as hard as he did. Brian McCann running as hard as he did. They all want the same thing, get as much bonus points as they can. That time it would go to Brian, so he ended up getting 2 bonus points. Then, of course, with the most laps led, which I believe at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, probably would be either Vincent Short or it would be Aaron Smith. Those are the only 2 off the top of my head I could think of that would lead the most laps at the moment here. I could be very, very wrong at that here. But as you see the points list as well, remember 1 race will get dropped point system wise, and we'll only count the best 15 races. So which one was your worst, which we can have those happen, that'll help you kind of keep up with the position and times here. And if you're a hard charger, well, then you get 3 bonus points here as well. So it's really a lot of points you can get, a lot of help you can take care of. And with 0 incident points, you also get 3 extra as long as it's 50% of the race completed. And then the main points, first getting 40, second 38, third getting 36, so on and so forth, all the way till 30, which only gets 2 points for just pretty much showing up and say, hey, congratulations, you showed up, thanks for coming on board. So this is how the points rack up. Dotson is pretty much going to lose his top 10 spot. David Tremblay and Doug Wysocki are going to have a little bit of a field day here. And if Chris Wallach can somehow next race find a little handle out there, I think he may have a shot at taking that final 10 spot away. But Lord knows he's going to need a lot of help out there. Pace lights are off on the pace car there. The front straightaway, they will lead them off this time by, it's going to be a 30-lap shootout. Only 1 caution so far tonight, other than our stage cautions here. All 3 stage cautions are now complete. It's time to blast the momentum, blast the power, put the pedal straight to the floorboards, into the middle. Here we go. Let's go one more time. iRacing IROC series coming on board as well, Chad, and seeing lots of bad luck as of late. Yeah, really, that's not the best way to put it, unfortunately. Brian McCann now looking to possibly knock down Medford once again. Medford is already on the hunt, on the prowl here, but there's problems down there for Dakota Clark. He's crashing it in there. He is trying to hang it tight and get it straightened out. He goes into pit road. He's okay, but what on earth happened here? We're going to the PTM replay. Registrover drove it up top of the Loves 38. Oh boy, holy smokes. Yeah, he got very, very, very lucky. He did not take the water bells there. That could have been bad. But he managed to stay out of that trouble and at least go into pit road somewhat. I would say I wouldn't necessarily call it the most clean pit stop I've ever seen in my life, but hey, it worked out alright, didn't it? Jesse King, the 93, now moving up the chains, moving up the ladder. He wants to top down Neil Quick. He has been starting in the 4th place spot all day long, and now he is in the 2nd place position with Neil Quick right in front of him. We've had lead change after lead change, and every driver for himself here. Tremblay on the outside. Here comes Brian McCann on the inside. The 3 looking for a push, looking for a run. Mefford and Schofield doing battle once more. Aaron Smith kind of laying back in the field just a little bit more than everyone else. Really, it's just to save his tires, save his fuel up. He doesn't need to worry about anything else, just making the charge for it. Absolutely amazing performances and amazing races from these drivers. Nobody gave an inch, nobody gave an out. They all want the same thing. They want to fight for their survival and fight for the honor to be in the top 10 come next week in the final race of the season. Tim Schofield opened the door up there. McCann now moving up ahead. As you can see, the field starting to sway in more towards what some drivers like to see here. Schofield not going to give up just yet, though. He still wants a piece of that race lead and that win here. In order to do so, you're really going to need a little bit more of a hand, a little more help than that here, because McCann's not going to give you any chances. Smith opens the door wide to the charge and wide back in position. This crowd of over 30,000 people have come forth here tonight to watch this race and come event to the show. It's a packed house here tonight. 19 of the best drivers from the Truck Series looking to make a name for themselves, looking to make a show of themselves. And I think I speak for everybody that's watching on board here tonight, and I could say they have certainly done that this entire season. But with the season wrapping up next week will really be the coup de grace, if you will, of all racing this season. Well, you can see just from that chopper cam and just hearing the motor and the roar of these things, that's how loud and how fast they get, how quick they come and how quick they can serve. Just a lot of it, just a lot of heartaches and a lot of hard racing. Whenever these drivers come out on the track and come out to fight, they do not want anything less and they don't want anything more. Coming down now, looks like McCann is tired of waiting. Mefford certainly was a little bit tired himself. Jesse King gave him the opening and now takes over the race lead, but McCann falls from behind. And Aaron Smith, kind of like a creature of the night, just kind of sneaking his way through everyone and kind of staying silent if he can. Only makes some noise when he gets to the very, very end of it all. We are down to the final laps here. It is going to be a shootout with only 20 to go. Look at Jesse King now. Looks like he's not quite done with them yet. He says, hey, wait a minute, bud. I'm still here. You know, I can always hang around here just a little bit longer, you know. I think that's his goal in his mindset. As you see right in front there, Brian McCann, Chris Mefford at it here. Mefford on the outside. Not the line you necessarily want to be in. That's the wrong area to play in. McCann trying to defend, trying to run off a little harder here. He's got to run on the inside. Mefford now trying to go straight back, power to the base off the outside. If he gives the door opening to 70, he'll give him the chance. They bump and bang down the back straightaway. Mefford literally stuck the front nose of that hood of that grill right into the rear bumper of McCann, and Smith saw every minute of it. This is where things get real interesting, especially with 18 laps left on the clock. Is there enough time? Oh, there's certainly not enough time for that one. No. Oh my. Brian McCann gets straight up dumped in the corner. Chris Mefford takes his old side panel with him. Mefford gets away with Murray there. I think he might have had the radio station on. He turned the song to pop. He turned it to something from Papa Roach. He's singing, getting away with murder, and moved that one ahead. Brian McCann, tough break for him. What a fight and what a struggle for him. And Aaron Smith now has moved, changed, and charged ahead. Mefford trying to get back at him. Smith might want to watch out though. We saw what Mefford did a minute ago. Maybe he might have something in store for him here. 16 remain. I don't think it was completely intentional. I think it might have been a hard racing maneuver, but just so we do know, we'll go visit the PTM Racing Speedway now and see about that. I really couldn't tell you from the angle they were at how much of it was dead intentional and how much of it was literally right just in the hard racing category. As you take a look at the show now. Here's what led up to this. Mefford's got to run now. Maybe did Smith push Mefford around a little bit, I wonder. Oh, there's a little tap right there. I think that might have been what was it right there. I think Smith might have got Mefford. So I have to apologize right there. Mefford, I don't think was trying to do that. I think that explains why Smith was backing off in the corner there. You see just a little bit of that yellow strip get right into Mefford, and that's what got everyone sideways and loose. See him trying to stay clear. He catches Mefford just the slightest bit. McCann just gets the worst end of the boot. Laps left. Smith has literally ran away from the field. Mefford has nothing left, and neither does King. The only drivers that are even going to put up a fight here, at least have a little side-by-side duel, are going to be Tim Schofield and David Tremblay. Absolutely chaotic to say the least here, especially with 13 laps to go. The McCann boys are literally just getting canned here tonight, unfortunately. Kevin was trying to win a championship, but he's not going to get it done this season. Aaron Smith, no matter what now, will be your season champion. Brian McCann was fighting it amongst himself and amongst everybody else. He had the lead. Mefford coming in close, coming in hot, and just the slightest bump, a little mistake there cost both of them. Mefford with damage on his right side, while McCann, well, gets sent to the shadow realm and into no man's land, if you will. Real quick, the number 2 machine. Pretty much a solid day for him and his crew. Carrying enough weight, maybe the top 10. If he can get around Matt Kopp here. Matt Kopp has given him an opening here, looking to make the charge off. One more run down on the inside. The number 2 now, a little bit of a leeway here. Mefford and Jesse King, they're not done yet. It looks like maybe Jesse King has one last little push, maybe saving up here with the final 10 laps coming up. Aaron Smith's already kind of rocked away with this one, my friends. He's already 2.5 plus seconds ahead. There is no way you're catching him unless he gets caught up in something that I don't think anybody in their right mind was expecting. 8 to go, and it's looking more and more like maybe Medford has just a little bit more speed under the hood. There is a little bit of movement back there. Tim Schofield and David Tremblay are still at it. Top 5 battling it out for that 4th place spot, and Doug Wysocki maybe a lap down at the moment, but I don't think he's too worried about that. I think he's more worried about just trying to keep up the distance. Tremblay may need a little bit of help here from that 34. Mike Harper going to the bottom lane. He's already a couple laps down. He's just not even worried about it. He's just trying to stay out of trouble. Wysocki is not going to give any help to Tremblay. Looks like he's just going to try and do his own thing. Tim Schofield now having a little bit more company under his pressure, under his loop here. And if Wysocki gets a runoff on Tremblay here on the inside, that's going to slow him down even more here than he wants to. Man, what a day it has been. Final 5 laps out, and the number 70. This season, to be honest with you, I mean, if we're going to be honest, he's alright. The championship's going to pretty much go to Smith as long as nothing major or catastrophic happens the next couple laps or next week. But you got to admit, the admiration and the cooperation this driver has brought to the table time and time again. You can just see the points race and the list that goes on and on here. The top 10 is going to be a flourish and a fluctuation coming into that final race of the season. But let's just look at this very clearly here. With the amount of points you can get and the amount of chances you had, McCann had a shot, had a chance to knock down Smith. But you can just see there's already that gap in between, that huge list of drivers that he was ahead of him, was ahead of his time. Just so tremendously gracious and grateful, I gotta believe, for everyone that comes out here and runs with these folks and runs with the drivers. Just to see this night kind of come to an end, unfortunately, and kind of the worst end of the luck. There's one thing about racing that everyone needs to remember, is just it's so unpredictable, it's so chaotic. Sometimes it can seem like anything can happen, and sometimes it seems like nothing can happen right, except just having a bunch of bad luck and a bad omens here. But out of it all, out of all that, and then some, the racing, you could still say, in my opinion, came out and was a true than commodity. Proven, tried-tested area play. Wheeled it in, white flag is out. And Tremblay makes one last run around Schofield here. That's your battle for the position, but Aaron Smith all but pretty much locking this one up. The 70 now moving quite in the field into the run. And on the back straightaway, we'll line him up into turn 3. Down into turn 4, race fans, Aaron Smith wins yet again and steals another victory to his name here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Chris Medford will come up second, third to Jesse King. And a little battle at the end sees David Tremblay and Tim Schofield finish 4th and 5th respectively. But what a season, what a night for these drivers. A lot of emotions all around us. And a lot of just either good or bad luck, depending on who you are and how you look at it. But no matter what we can say, Aaron Smith definitely deserved this one, and definitely deserved once again to come away with a victory, considering how hard he challenged for this one. Field gonna come into the top zone here. Everyone driving down there. Looks like they're gonna have a little photo picture op. Gotta look good for the camera down there, my friends. We'll talk right here with our third place finisher here tonight, Mr. Chris and Mr. Jesse King. Then we'll go to Chris Mefford. Jesse King will be the first one up on the list here. We'll see if he is ready to talk with us here. He is indeed. Let's take it down now and talk with them as he is up on the podium here on the front straightaway here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome out Jesse King in the number 93. And Jesse, been quite a field day for you and your team. Obviously, had a lot of heartaches, a lot of headaches here, obviously, with the damage on that truck. But still managed to put that thing in a third place position. You gotta be very happy with that one.
Happy, yeah, still not satisfied. I felt like we had a better truck than that. Just got caught up in a couple of things throughout the day. Salvaged a good one, so we'll take it and go on to the finale.
For sure there. So with the finale obviously coming up next week, and obviously a points day and a half coming your way, I mean, what is it going to take for you and your crew to just get this thing dialed in one more time and have a shot at this one?
The way I feel right now, just a lot of luck. Just things haven't been going my way here lately, for one reason or another. So maybe we can get it turned around. We'll see.
We'll see indeed. But nevertheless, my friend, you're still walking away here tonight with a third place finish. Anybody you want to thank you for that one?
Appreciate you guys for the boost, Wally, for putting this thing on. All the guys out here on the track to make this thing a half-fast good show, I hope. Appreciate everybody, man. It's been a fun year.
Absolutely indeed. Well, nevertheless, King, appreciate your time here tonight. Congratulations on that third place finish, and we will catch you here soon enough, my friend.
Good boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, here, Jesse King, going to be your third place finisher here tonight. As we now get prepared to talk with the rest of our field here tonight, we will now talk with Chris Mefford here. Chris Mefford, your second place finisher here, as he has brought it on to the front straightaway, now heading in for pit road. As he now comes out of pit road, ladies and gentlemen, here he is now with us here, Chris Mefford. And Chris, you know, it was kind of an up and down kind of night for you and your team, and a wild finish there coming to the end. Looked like you had a little bit of a tag there from Smith and then got into McCann. What happened there?
I just got blocked all the way down to the blue line having a run. You know, if someone's going to race me aggressive, I'm going to race them aggressive. I know he's made a couple late moves going to 3, and it really, you know, caused me to overreact, just trying to wreck us. But no, he left the bottom open, and I just, you know, kind of went in there, didn't get all the way to the bottom and collected them. But no, like I said, you know, I've got to race aggressive. You know, if they're going to race me aggressive, I'm going to race them aggressive.
You certainly do indeed there, but I mean, I gotta ask you, if you had a shake at trying to do that again, would you have done the same thing, or would you maybe just try to back off and wait one more lap to see what would happen?
No, Aaron Smith had way too much grip around this place. If I was going to go, I couldn't let them guys by. But no, so I had to run off of 2 there, and, you know, I went down low, and he got me all the way down to the apron. You know, I can't really go much more lower than that, you know. So, I mean, I don't think there's much more I could have done different.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, obviously a big finish here for you and your team, coming away second, and with the big championship race coming up next week. So I gotta ask you, who do you want to thank you for tonight's finish?
I thank Wally for putting up with all of us week in, week out. Same with Benegraph. You know, this league is a little, you know, smaller field tonight, which was really played in Aaron's favor because he's so fast. But, you know, I wish we had more guys out here for these kind of races because it was a very racy track. You know, let's congratulate him on the win. Jesse on a great rebound, spin off of 4. You know, good run for Doug and Matt. And like I said, Brandon got in a little net code with Wally, which wasn't what we wanted to happen, especially on that race.
For sure there, but nevertheless, here you and your team will head down to Daytona for next week for the championship run. We hope to see you there soon, my friend. Congratulations here on the finish.
Thank you.
Mr. Chris Mefford, ladies and gentlemen, coming away here with a solid performance here tonight, as we now bring it down with our race winner, and really, unless something happens next week, our season champion, if you will, here, Aaron Smith. And Aaron, man, caught a huge break there when Kevin McCann had some problems, goes out early. And now moving into the championship race next week, gotta believe a big boulder was lifted off your back tonight, man.
Oh, absolutely. It was unfortunate what happened to all of my competition there toward the or over the course of the race, but I think I clinched the championship on points by now. But after the drop week, it'd only take about 22 points off my final total, so I think that might have squared the deal for me there. So I'm looking forward to next week, but got the championship, so I'm happy.
You do indeed, my friend. And with that in mind, there really, we'll ask you how the season felt next week. But I'm gonna ask you how this race felt because all around this was just a bit of a wild, frenetic race. But you still seemingly somehow stayed under control with yourself and really keeping everybody in play. What was the key thing that you were staying focused on? You were making better than everybody else.
Yeah, I honestly didn't expect the race to go that well for me. I'm usually pretty bad at these mile-and-a-half ovals, but I took a long run in practice just to see how the tires would wear over the course of the run, and fortunately that helped me out over the course of the race. We got a couple on green flag runs. That's where I was fastest. So fortunately we were able to bring it home with that.
You were indeed, and nevertheless, you're walking away with another victory here. Many, I have many victories, I may add, but hey, man, at the end of the day, it's win's a win. You're taking another one home. So, anybody you want to thank here for this finish here tonight?
Of course, I'd like to thank the iRock Challenge, all the folks involved for putting the show on, you for broadcasting, and all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting her done next week.
Absolutely, indeed, Aaron. Appreciate your time here tonight. Congratulations on your race win, and we'll talk to you next week about the season championship.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here tonight in the number 70, Aaron Smith. And ladies and gentlemen, that's really going to sign us off here tonight. So from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, a big thank you and a big shout out, of course, going to the folks over at Spartan Logistic Management, LLC, R&R Racewear, Loud Pedal TV, iRacers Lounge Podcast, and Evidence Based Mommy. We can't thank you guys enough, as well as the friends and family that support our show and all the tracks here and everything we've done. From all of us here at PTM Race TV, we cannot wait to see you next time when the green flag flies here. And for all of us here now, we sign off from Charlotte saying farewell, see you later, good night, goodbye. I will see you very, very soon when the green flag flies.